So then we were back in the city and we walked down to the Queensboro.
That's right, and that's my last bridge. The Queensboro is, I guess, probably the most prominent of all of these bridges, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's also the 59th Street Bridge, you could call it.
Right.
So
That's what some people call it.
yeah, and its name, I guess, in the municipal circles officially is the Ed Koch Bridge.
Oh, that's the Ed Koch Bridge.
That's correct.
How's it doing?
How's it doing? Very good. It's doing okay. It is, yeah, I think most people generally don't feel great about its renaming. I guess I'm indifferent, but at the same time, I don't really call it that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to force it on others to try and make it that. So,
Yeah.
but it is a cantilever bridge,
Ooh.
which I can't claim to know that I understand exactly what that is.
Okay, well,
but
do your best.
the definition is that a cantilever is a structure that projects horizontally into space, supported only on one end. So there's some sort of, I guess, weighted math that goes on there in order to make it work.
Projects horizontally into space.
Yeah.
Weighted
Supported
only on one end.
Supported only on one
So
end.
I always picture, when I hear cantilever, I picture like a rod going into a square
Mm-hmm.
and then like lifting up
Mm-hmm.
so that it's, which would I guess be that.
Yeah.
So it kind of like is like maybe a 75-degree angle, or no, more than 90, like a 120 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay.
It connects the, I guess, lower portion of the Upper East Side with Long Island City in Queens.
Right.
And it passes over Roosevelt Island in the process.
Okay.
It also runs parallel to a tram system or gondola system or
I think
whatever.
it's called a tram.
Well, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. A wired human movement contraption.
Oh, yeah, because I guess a tram is also like a trolley or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a ski lift that's enclosed.
Yeah.
Fits probably, looks like 30 people or something, and it is public transportation.
Yeah. Yep. And it was completed on March 30th, 1909. So it is over 100 years old as
The
well.
bridge?
That's right.
1909, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is the northernmost of the 4 toll-free vehicular bridges connecting Manhattan to Long Island, along with
Oh, wow.
the Manhattan, the Williamsburg, and the Brooklyn bridges, which we'll be
Right,
covering in a
okay.
separate walk. So, but it's far enough away from them that it kind of maintains its own thing, vibe-wise.
Right. I didn't realize it was toll-free.
It is, yeah.
Good to know.
Yep. It is the first entry point into Manhattan in the course of the New York City Marathon.
Wow.
Yep. And it is the last exit point out of Manhattan in the 5-borough bike tour.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Cool.
There was a extensive renovation of the bridge that is claimed to be over, but I mean there's still a lot of stuff going on there when you walk over it, like
Yeah.
these ladders that
Oh my
go to
God.
nowhere.
The ladders that, like, they all have signs on it that are like, don't be on the ladder. But the ladder is, like, set up in a way that, like, you know people are getting on those ladders.
Probably, yeah.
Just take the ladder down. Just put it on its side. I don't know what, like, no workers, whatever. Okay. I don't need to complain about the ladders. It's getting late.
So there was a renovation that began in 1987 and ended in 2012 and cost $300 million.
What the hell? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait. What? Like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All
construction
right.
in the
What
city.
Yeah.
In 2009,
What did they do?
I honestly I didn't even write it down. They
$200 million.
no, $300 million.
$300 million and like 30 years.
25 years, I think.
25 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
In March 2009, the New York City Bridge Centennial Commission
Uh-huh.
sponsored events marking the centennial. The bridge was also designated as a National Historic Civil Engineering Landmark.
What did they do for the centennial? It was still under construction.
I don't know.
It was in year 12 of construction
No.
at that point.
No. Much longer.
2009?
It's year 22. Yeah. On December 2010, the city announced that the bridge would be renamed in honor of former Mayor Ed Koch, from the Queensboro Bridge to the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge. The name change became official in 2011. The renaming decision was unpopular among Queens residents and business leaders, and many local residents continue to refer the bridge by its older name. New York City Council member Peter Vallone Jr. from Queens vowed to remove Koch's name from the bridge. Vallone said, "Never in a million years would they think to rename the Brooklyn or Manhattan bridges, but for some reason, it was okay to slap Queens around." To my knowledge, Peter Vallone has not succeeded yet in renaming it back to the Queensboro Bridge.
He's a city council member, you
Well,
said?
he was.
He's not anymore.
I'm not sure. He may be. But
It's so funny.
it is an iconic looking bridge, and it is referenced quite a lot in pop culture. I mean, it's been around for a very long time. So there are dozens of different pop culture references that are listed on Wikipedia.
Sure.
I pulled one from various types of media to give an example, starting with literature.
Oh.
In F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby,
Oh, yeah?
Jay Gatsby and Nick Carraway traverse the bridge on their way from Long Island to Manhattan.
Oh.
The city seen from the Queensboro Bridge, Nick says, is always the city seen for the first time, in its first wild promise of all the mystery and the beauty in the world.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is.
That is kind of the feeling. I don't know if I'd say that about the Queensboro Bridge, but that is like the feeling that you have, or that I have a lot when I'm coming into the city at certain times of day or after having been away for a while.
Mm-hmm. The title of the Simon and Garfunkel song, the 59th Street Bridge song, Feelin' Groovy, refers to the Queensboro Bridge.
Right.
Harper's Bazaar covered the song in 1967, with the record rising to number 13 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 chart, making it the musical group's best-selling hit.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear the best-selling hit that is our heating system, but I just want to call it out because I'm obligated to as the person that's editing this. Now, moving from music to music videos.
Okay.
Billy Joel's video.
Uh-oh.
Tom.
Don't tell Tom.
For the 1985 single, You're Only Human, Second Wind.
I don't think I know that song.
Oh, you don't know that song? Was primarily filmed on the bridge.
Wow.
I'm not going to sing it. But
What year?
1985.
Oh, right before it. Maybe that's why they had to do the construction.
That's right. After Billy blew through, here comes the 30-year renovation tour. All right, so that's music videos. Now, movies. Again, there are dozens of movie credits.
Yeah.
The Queensboro Bridge was featured in 2012 as one of the few remaining bridges. In The Dark Knight Rises, after Bane took control of the city. So
Is that Batman?
That's Batman.
Oh.
In the third of the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, Bane takes over Manhattan and blows up a bunch
What?
Yeah, to restrict
Bane
access to the city.
Is the
He's
Darth
the
Vader?
villain. He's the villain of that.
Okay. He's
that
the guy that
movie.
wears that weird jaw tooth brace.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is he a? Never mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably best. So that's, yeah, but there's a whole other slew of other movie references. I just figured I'd pick that one. Now, as far as television, the Queensboro Bridge has been shown in the credits of a number of television series,
Oh.
including Archie Bunker's Place, The Jeffersons, The King of Queens, Taxi, Rescue Me, and Alphas.
Whoa, are those all things that took place in New York City?
I believe so.
Cool.
Yeah. And then there was even a handful of video game references.
Oh.
I'm not familiar. Honestly, I wasn't familiar with any of the games. Otherwise, I would have picked them. But I have heard the title of this game. So, gamers, the bridge was destroyed in the video game Crisis 2 when a facility on Roosevelt Island exploded, causing the bridge to violently collapse, which hopefully won't happen this week.
Oh my gosh, I hope not.
Yeah.
Or ever.
Yeah. And then, as far as the bridge itself, it is an interesting bridge to walk over. It feels like one of the longer bridges, if not the longest bridge we walk over.
I think it's the longest.
Certainly longer than the Williamsburg, which we've done a lot of walking over this month.
Oh, well, I meant on this route.
Well,
You think it's longer than the Williamsburg?
I do.
I'm not sure about that.
That's my impression.
Yeah, it might be. It's not. I guess the Williamsburg Bridge is definitely taller, like more of a hill.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like I exert more energy.
Maybe. Yeah. And the structure of it is kind of compelling and interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And we hadn't really started walking over it until fairly recently, so
yeah,
I think we'll be doing a lot more of it we're already done with Manhattan again after this week, but I think we'll be traversing it more in the third go-around of Manhattan as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I said about the Queensboro Bridge, we've walked over this bridge a number of times now, so I'm pretty comfortable and used to it. It's a fairly long stretch with a lot of traffic. The walkway is too skinny for the amount of bikers and walkers to pass easily, especially now with the snow. But there's a good guardrail, so you don't feel unsafe even when a bike passes too quickly and closely. I like that you can see the tram to Roosevelt Island go by, some extra entertainment. The views other than the tram aren't really anything to write home about. Some water, some land, pretty basic as far as bridges go, but it gets you from one place to the other easily.
Real basic bridge.
I think I was getting tired. And it was dark. So I'm like, the views are nothing. I'll have to write another review during the day. It's like we have walked over it so many times. I'm sure I should be able to remember what the views are like in the daytime, but some water, some land.